All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer, where today we're doing something, well, a little bit meta. We're unpacking a really fascinating master guide from the Testcraft Fundamentals series. And what makes this source material so uniquely cool is that it actually does two things at once. First, it teaches core software performance testing fundamentals, but second, it acts as a literal step-by-step blueprint showing you exactly how to produce technical training content about those fundamentals. So we get to look at the architecture of a software system and the architecture of an explainer script all at the exact same time.
And honestly, the whole thing kicks off with one deceivingly simple question. How fast is the system? I mean, this is the fundamental driving question at the core of literally all performance testing. It's the exact prompt our source uses to launch its entire curriculum. Because think about it. Before you can optimize, and certainly before you can teach anyone else, you have to answer this one core question.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the core performance question, move into 3 types of testing, and check out some essential testing tools. Then we pivot to the meta layer, looking at structuring the technical content, the production process, and finally promoting the final product.
All right, Section 1, the core performance question. So what's really fascinating here is the actual nature of our source document. We're analyzing the internal script outline for an episode called Performance Testing Basics, Finding Bottlenecks. It's explicitly designed to teach viewers how to locate those nasty system bottlenecks. This gives us a really rare behind-the-scenes look at how an architect thinks about testing strategy and test design right from the jump.
Moving on to Section 2, 3 types of testing. Now this brilliantly illustrates the difference in testing thresholds. With load testing, you're simulating multiple users hitting the system simultaneously just to see how it handles standard expected traffic. Business as usual. But stress testing? That's an entirely different beast. This is where you deliberately push the system way beyond its design capacity to find its absolute breaking point. It's kind of like the difference between seeing if a bridge can hold standard rush hour traffic versus seeing what happens when a massive freight train plows right over it. But we can't forget the third type, endurance testing. Now this shifts the focus entirely away from raw intensity and focuses on long-term stamina. By running a system for an extended period, you catch those incredibly insidious bugs that only show up over time. You know the ones, like a slow memory leak that inevitably crashes your server at 3 a.m. on a holiday weekend. We've all been there.
Which brings us to Section 3, Essential Testing Tools.
Because obviously you can't just execute these tests manually. Our source explicitly names 3 core industry standard tools for the job. First, you've got JMeter for your general performance testing execution. Then there's LoadRunner, which they specifically highlight for heavy-duty enterprise load testing. And finally, Gatling, which is the absolute go-to for high-performance stress testing. Listen, knowing the methodology is really only half the battle. Knowing exactly which tool to deploy is what actually gets the job done.
All right, let's zoom out to that meta layer. Section 4, Structuring the Technical Content.
Our source document actually provides the exact architectural formula for building educational content. Just look at the rigid chronological development arc here. It breaks a 15-minute timeline into very precise 2 to 3 minute blocks. You start by defining the topic and why it matters. Then you move logically through core theory into practical application, followed by real-world examples, best practices, and common gotchas, and you wrap the whole thing up with tools and next steps. It is a perfectly engineered flow designed to keep a viewer's attention without ever overwhelming them.
And speaking of not overwhelming the viewer, there's one specific number that is absolutely critical: 2,300. Our authors calculated that to hit a natural conversational speaking pace, which is right around 150 words per minute for a 15-minute technical breakdown, you need exactly 2,300 words. It just goes to show that pacing is treated as a highly precise metric. Honestly, very much like system latency in a performance test.
Let's look at how this gets made. Section 5, the production process. Producing high-quality technical content is a seriously intensive pipeline. These 6 condensed steps outline exactly how raw data is transformed into polished, accessible visual material. It starts with writing that conversational script and sourcing graphics. Then you record the talking head footage. After that, you've got to layer in animations and text overlays to actually aid understanding. Then comes the professional edit, adding accessibility features like captions, and finally, optimizing the title and description so people can actually find the content via search engines.
But hey, it's absolutely crucial to recognize the hidden costs here. Quality technical translation takes dedicated time and specialized skills. You need a graphics designer, you need a video editor. Look at the time investment. 2 to 3 hours just for script expansion, an hour or two for filming, and another 2 to 3 hours just for editing. And honestly, anyone who has ever edited video knows that last estimate is highly optimistic.
Finally, Section 6, promoting the final product.
Because the strategy laid out in our source isn't just posting it, it's total omni-channel distribution. You don't just upload a 15-minute explainer and walk away. No, you repurpose that core asset. You extract 3 to 5 key sound bites. You turn those complex concepts into a visually engaging LinkedIn carousel. You film a short vertical clip for an Instagram reel. You write out a Twitter thread highlighting the key takeaways. You're literally taking that 2,300-word monolith and breaking it down into bite-sized platform-specific formats to maximize your educational reach across the entire web.
So, we've looked at how to stress test a software system, and we've looked at how to structure, produce, and promote a lesson about that very same topic. Which leaves us with this final thought. As you think about testing for bottlenecks in your own software systems, consider how applying this exact same structured architectural thinking to your communication could completely change the way you share your expertise. I mean, if you can engineer complex software and you can engineer the way you teach it, what limits are really left on your technical impact? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.